Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for tuning in. So I guess I thought about it today, and I guess I can think of my podcast as kind of like a therapy for me a little bit. Well, I'm able to talk about what's going on. See, because usually I'm always listening to somebody else's problems, and I hold a lot of my own stuff in, but I do realize that I just can't be quiet and just shut everything down and not talk about what's going on in me internally and how I'm thinking and feeling. Without revealing a whole lot of personal information, because that's not what the podcast was intended to do. But I do realize that my life is a testimony, and I have to use that to try to help someone. And that's why I went through everything I went through. But a lot of the things that I realized that I went through is and problems is what I created myself, is what I brought upon myself. And once I removed that last problem and removed all that out of my life, I don't have any more chaos and any more problems. You can tell a person all day long how to get their life right. How to, if they come to you saying, I want to get off drugs, I want to change my life. And you tell them all day long, well, it's in your mind. You set your heart and your mind right. You need to forgive whoever hurt you. You need to forgive yourself because you hurting yourself by taking the drugs. And then you need to come out of that mindset and stop thinking that way. And if you tell them that and they say, okay, well, thank you, I'm going to do that. But they go on and do something different and then come back to you again. I want to get off drugs. You keep on telling them. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. At some point, we got to say, hey, wait a minute. We got to stop this. Somebody got to be the bigger person. So what I've decided to do is to let you know, hey, this is how you better yourself. Give you the tools that you need to better yourself, whether you use them or not, whether you want to be a king or a queen is up to you, because you can die a rebel. So I'm going to tell you something. That's what life is all about. It's a battle. And in the end, you get your glory. You come out a king or a queen. It depends on whether you allow whatever you going through to defeat you. If you're going through drugs, you got health problems, you got problems in the family, you got chaos, dependency, whatever you dealing with, whatever form of oppression, because it all falls under the umbrella of oppression. It's oppression one way or another. Abuse is oppression. Drugs is oppression. Bondage is oppression. Anything, racism, police brutality, all this stuff is forms of oppression. What's going on in the inner city, the crime, that's oppression. African, I hate to say black because black is a color. I don't like black. I'm not black. I'm brown. That's matter of fact, that's my favorite color is brown, because brown comes in so many different shades. You got light brown, dark brown, medium brown. It's a lot of different browns, but a color is black. So I just say I'm brown. I remember an episode of Sanford and Son where the white police officer asked him, were they colored? And he said, yeah, white. White is a color. Black is a color. So I identify as African American because I'm American and I'm also African. My ancestors were not born in this country. They were brought over here. But my parents were born here and I was born here. So I am therefore American. Therefore, I go as African American, not black. So I don't classify as black, but I use this term because this is what they like to call us, black, because black is evil, ominous, threatening, dark. It's all of that. Anything ugly you can think of, that's black. So they want to call us black. Okay, black on black crime. That's a form of oppression. People, we need to come out of oppression. We need to stop our stinking thinking, because look, We 400 years later from the time when the ship docked in 1619, 400 years later. Now, we're not in bondage anymore. We're not in chains anymore. We're not enslaved anymore. The only form of oppression is what we do to ourselves now. It's what we do to ourselves. I saw the actor Morgan Freeman on an interview tell another African-American reporter who was asking him a question. Well, what's holding the rest of the African-American community back? He said nothing but themselves. That's what it is. It's not the white man holding you down. It's you. You are holding you down. You can get a trade. You can get an education. You can come off drugs. You can build wealth. You can do a whole lot of things. You can go out there and get them drugs. You can go out there and connive and get over and scheme to get what you want. Then you can climb the ladder of success. You can do that also. You ain't got to fall by the wayside. You ain't got to be a product of your environment. You ain't got to look around you and say, well, this is it. This all I got to look. No, it ain't. It makes me very, very sad when I go into the community, because I plan on doing some changes. It makes me very sad when I go into the community and see the children who got empty, abandoned buildings to look at as they outside playing, and across the street, a strip club where the naked women at. That's sad that this is what we got for our future kings and queens. People, we need to do better. This is really, really pathetic. One day, and don't be surprised, one day I'm going to stand out with a bullhorn because I decide I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand out with a bullhorn and I'm going to start talking, telling people, hey, look, we need to change our mindset. We need to come up off of this mentality that we got. Oh, woe is me. No, it ain't you. You need to come up off of that. You need to come up out of your oppression. Come up out of your stinking thinking. Start thinking better for yourself and your environment. Start thinking better for your children. It's time to begin to build wealth. When you get some money, don't go buy no rims. Don't go get no Gucci bags. Don't go buy no rings. Don't go buy no gold jewelry. Not yet. We're going to do that in the end. Right now, we got to build wealth. We're going to look like kings and queens when we get through. But right now, we got to begin to build wealth in our community. Begin to put back for our children. Begin to do for one another, people. It's time. It's time. It's time. Ain't you tired? You ought to be. You ought to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of doing the same old mundane thing every day. You go to church on Sunday. The rest of the week, you got it messed up. You paying your tithes and offerings, wondering when your breakthrough coming. Well, here it is. Listen to this podcast. Here go your breakthrough. Because you ain't got to pay no more tithes and offerings. You keep your money in your pocket. And then you start beginning to build wealth. Beginning to put back in your community. You got some family members that need help. Start using that tithe and offering money for them. Start helping them. Because look, the pastor helping himself. He building wealth in his pocket. He got airplanes. He got money in the bank. He got mansions that he live in. He got suits that he dressing up in. He got gold chains. He got all this stuff looking good up in the pulpit, and look at you, stand up there looking down at you. No, sir, that's not how it's supposed to go. We supposed to be helping out one another, not one coming up. All of us come up. The Bible didn't say, God said, are you pastor gonna come up? Are you evangelist gonna come up? Are you minister gonna come up? Are you mother gonna come up? He said in his word, all my people. That means all of us. So start spreading the wealth, pastor. You got kids who did praise and worship, did all that dancing and stuff in your church. All them Easter speeches they did, pastor. Now it's time for you to start putting back in the community. I hope that's what you're doing. But I know it's some pastors out there that ain't doing it. So we need to start putting back in the community. I know of people right now who put in church, and right now they hurting because they ain't got nothing. They lost everything. And now they looking to the church for help. Well, come on, pastor. We need to start doing something. It's time to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Let's grow, people. God bless you.